स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaskar my dear friends. In this video I am going to describe the wonders of human bioelectricity. All the living organisms, humans, other animals and plants, they possess bioelectricity. Almost all the life processes, they take place with the help of this bioelectricity. Some people, they have wonderful powers of elect- electromagnetic sensory perceptions like telepathy, clairaudience, because for these powers, electricity is most important, because the process is through electromagnetic waves with the help of bioelectricity takes place, because due to the presence of electricity, the human body also possesses the magnetic force. The thought process is also through electromagnetic waves. There are neuron electrons in the bodies of living organisms, and these neurons give rise to the electric current. Human aura, bioenergy. You can understand. Now, every unit in our body is part of a huge network of bioelectric current. In physiological terms, brain and heart work respectively like the generator and the transmitter of the ionic currents in the body. The bioelectric energy resulting from combination of vital force with electrophysiological functions is distributed amongst different parts of the body as per their functional requirements. This electricity, in conjunction with the inner strength, consciousness force of a person, produces biomagnetic-like fields of attraction which manifest as the aura, halo of light around one's body and charm in one's personality. The bioelectrical fields of a person influence and also get affected by other people's aura, plants, jewelry, and other metallic substances, clothes, food, surrounding ambience, and interhuman interactions. Intense bioelectric currents also make possible distant communication, hypnosis, healing, etc. The book presents lucid accounts of the origin and manifestations of bioelectricity and its effects with illustrative examples ranging from day-to-day experience to scientific experiments and spiritual aspects of wider interest. It also provides guidelines on preserving, protecting, and augmenting bioelectricity for more energetic body, sharper mind, and healthier ambience. Now, these pictures show the various power centers in our body. There is Kundalini Shakti and these chakras are shown. Now, human bioelectricity. Human body functions as a potential powerhouse like the transmission lines of electricity spread all over a township from a power station. There is a marvelous network of circulatory and nervous systems interconnecting the brain to nerves, carrying messages to the brain from sense organs and propagating brain's response to the corresponding functional units. The relevant information processing units of brain instantaneously respond to the stimulus detected by the sense organs or related subsystem of the body, and the brain sends signals to the nervous system to react in an appropriate manner. A sting by an insect in the leg is immediately reported to the brain, which directs the muscles in the leg to shake it off with a rigorous movement. Simultaneously, the veins in hand react to scratch the affected part to increase the circulation of blood for neutralizing the injected irritant and speeding up the process of healing. The nervous system also collects and transmits information about the climatic conditions like cold, heat, movement of air, and humidity, enabling the subject to arrange for appropriate shelter or clothing, etc. The thicker arteries and veins of the circulatory system apparently are only the tubes for blood flow. However, these are also imperceptible channels of transmission of bioelectricity. Effective functioning of an organ of the body depends on adequate flow of bioelectricity in its blood vessels. When, in spite of the normal flow of blood, the transmission of this current in the blood vessels slows down in some part of the body, the muscles of the affected part partially or totally lose their flexibility, and the related organ or region experiences pain, discomfiture, numbness, or is totally paralyzed. When an organ suffers from arthritis or a neurological disorder, there is no obstruction in the normal flow of blood in the related organ, since in that case it would cease to function, but there is a retardation or blockage of bioelectricity in that part. On account of the feeble current, the circulatory system becomes weak and loses its flexibility. The alternative systems of medicine, such as acupressure and acupuncture, attempt to normalize the flow of this current. In the absence of adequate bioelectric force, the vessels are unable to withstand the pressure of the blood or any other physical exertion, thus resulting in pain, inflammation, or irritation in the affected muscle. The living element or vital power in the blood and flesh is the current of bioelectricity controlled by the central power station in the brain. The moment it is drawn off the body, its residual change with the subtle body gets dissipated into the omnipresent cosmic reservoir of bioenergy, and the body parts, including the brain, cease to function. Since this vital charge also works as a shield against invasion by the bacteria in the air or being deprived of this living element, the erstwhile active organ of the body dies and begins to petrify, emitting foul smell. When stored for a long time, The food product derived from a dead animal becomes totally devoid of its bioelectric charge and is rendered unfit for consumption. While alive, the beings continue to draw in bioenergy from the cosmic reservoir through their auto-regulated breathing apparatus respiratory system energized with the element of consciousness force present in the being. In the event of death, when they stop breathing, all constituent elements of the body are cut off from this cosmic reservoir of life, and the body is reduced to an inanimate inert state. However, when a being breathes is lost or is killed, the bioelectricity in its body is not lost instantaneously but it loses its residual charge gradually. The living flesh dies gradually in proportion to the loss of its residual bioenergy. Now you can understand the importance of this bioelectricity. Bioelectricity is produced by soul. Soul as a source of bioenergy of body. In all living beings, soul is the fountainhead of life energy. Prana, responsible for the biological function. Brain is only an instrument of the soul. The potentiality of life energy is not to be assessed from the physical capability of the body of the being. Though human body is rather small in size and its activities such as locomotion, lifting of load, physical and mental exertion are limited as compared to several other members of the animal kingdom, it should not be assumed that the potentiality of the source of bioenergy in humans is of lesser significance. On the other hand, since many other beings of the animal kingdom appear to be physically more powerful than man in many ways, it does not imply that their bioenergy has a greater potential than that of man. All animate beings, however insignificant they are in shape of size, have a unique and striking characteristic. It is their natural capability to reproduce state the potentiality of growth and reproduction, availing the appropriate environment. A tiny seed uses this potentiality stored in its soul by growing into a huge banyan tree. Soul is eternally alive and is sustained by Ananta Chetna, the infinite absolute consciousness force, which is which is the perpetual source of bioenergy required for expression of life. By virtue of this mechanism of interaction, the soul is able to draw and collect requisite bioenergy from this cosmic ocean for the total physical, mental, and emotional growth of the being. This energy is used to acquire whatever natural elements are needed in whatever quantity for growth, sustenance, and reproduction, and physical, mental, and emotional development. However, this process of acquisition and manifestation of bioenergy by the soul from cosmos varies in different beings. Let us consider, for example, the process of growth in a plant. All seeds of a plant do not mature into full grown trees. Many seeds do not grow beyond initial germination or the plant withers out after a little growth. It does not necessarily imply any deformability or defect of the seed to grow. The growth is inhibited because of the inadequacy of the process through which the energy is required for reproduction. Unless the seed makes use of appropriate use of required bioenergy by interacting with nature, its inherent potentiality of growth is of no use. Apparently, the attributes of a seed are not comparable to those of that tree of which it is part, but fundamentally there is no difference between their potentialities. Within the seed are all attributes of a tree in a dormant state. On proper utilization of its inherent capabilities, a seed can grow, produce, and reproduce like a tree. According to the philosophy of Vedanta, essence of Vedic knowledge, the individual soul, Jiva, and the absolute soul, Paramatma, are present in a unified field of existence. If the soul in man is compared to a seed, the absolute soul, Paramatma or God, is its parent tree. With this analogy, in human soul are imbibed all attributes of divinity, human progress, physical, mental, emotional excellence, and its products depend on utilization of these divine attributes by proper interaction with the Absolute. There are innumerable persons in the world leading to a wretched life. Their great misery and hellish existence shows that they are unable to make use of the abundance of the divine attributes inherent in their soul. Among us, the sentient beings, only the soul of man has been given the freedom to achieve supreme evolution by enhancing the consciousness power and making its creative use as much as required and in any field of choice by interaction with the Absolute. Soul is omnipotent. By virtue of its existence in the unified field with the omnipresent powers of God, the soul is also regarded as omnipotent through the force of inner will. Man interconnects with this solute reservoir of power and utilizes it appropriately with the help of his intellect to achieve the desired objective. We know that provided an appropriate environment, a small seed having the inherent capability of germination grows into a giant banyan tree. However, compared to the limitations of the soul in the seed, the soul in a human being has much greater animation, chaitanya, and freedom to act. Consequently, its capacity to work too finds expression in varied and complex fields. In this world, only human beings have made scientific inventions, explored frontiers of knowledge, and harnessed forces of nature. The reason behind it was not a series of coincidences but a coordination of human desire, a strong will, and focused intellect. These faculties operate as tools for the tremendous bioelectric power of the life force inherent in soul. Therefore, dear readers, you should be aware of the paranormal bioelectricity working within you. Ponder over its enormous potentialities and practice to prevent its wastage and to prudently make use of it. Be sincerely dedicated to whatever you desire to acquire or achieve in life. Be focused to your objective. Have a sincere desire to achieve the best and strive for it wholeheartedly using righteous means. Then all your physical and mental activities will begin to conform to the objective. Through determination and focused approach, the channelized bioenergy of your intellect will take care of the aberrations or lacunae in your attempts, ensuring success in the end. If you desire to take full advantage of human life, contemplate over the unlimited power of soul present in your being and the currents of bioelectricity working in your mind body system and learn to utilize it appropriately. Now, these pictures indicate the extrasensory perceptions. Paranormal powers of the mind. Mind is a tool of the soul. One of the functions of mind is to create desire. Suppose the mind wishes to see Taj Mahal the moment this desire arises in the mind, its subordinate faculties present a conceptual picture of the tomb before it. If the desire is weak, this imagery fades away after a while. If it is strong, the imagery of Taj Mahal becomes gradually more vivid. In course of time, the strong intensity of desire activates dormant occult faculties in mind and the conceptual image in the mind begins to interact with the actual physical structure of Taj Mahal. When it happens, the intellect begins to sense many parameters related to the tomb without any conscious effort. The paranormal powers of attraction generated in the imagery because of continuous input of strong desire to see it materially gradually overcome all external hurdles and creating favorable circumstances someday bring the subject face to face before the tomb. Similarly, in proportion to the clarity of objective and concentration and intensity of thought, most of the information acquired by the extrasensory perception turns out to be true. This is what works in case of telepathy and psychokinesis. We hardly ever come to know how much this paranormal force of attraction in the mind for a desired object or objective struggles to clear the way to success in between. The inception of a desire to its ultimate fulfillment by removing the seemingly insurmountable obstacles. The attraction of desire triggers numerous activities in the mind. The bioelectric current in the mind forcefully paves the way to success by surmounting numerous obstacles in the physical, mental, and external environments. If we could somehow observe it physically or record it through an instrument, we would appreciate the enormous power of bioelectricity working in our mental domains. A very small part of bioelectricity is used in biological functions of body. Heat, thermal energy in an average itself human body itself is capable of melting 40 kg of ice. So what is the source of this heat? The temperature of one's body is merely like emissions from a chimney of the body's factory, indicating that there is a powerhouse working within the body. Soul is a storehouse of tremendous energy. For biological functions, a very small fraction of this energy is utilized. So intense will be the heat of the total life energy hidden in one's body that no living being on this planet could survive if exposed to it. The invisible field of bioelectricity in one's body exerts much greater influence on the surrounding life system than his or her physical activities. The magnetic personalities of great men and women are an expression of this field. The aura domain of bioenergy field of personalities of dedicated military commanders subdues the fighting potential of powerful enemies. It should be noted that the aura around the face of great persons is neither the sheen of their face nor is it a reflection of light because of the texture of their skin. Outstanding success of a sole person facing thousands of rivals or attackers does not indicate the potentiality of flesh and bones of his body. It is the miracle of the radiance of his inner will, Atam Teja, and consequent current of bioenergy that made possible his talented efforts. In the next section, we shall learn that beside the activities of bioelectricity felt by the nervous system within the body, its presence can be examined through sensory organs of eyes, nose, and skin by performing simple experiments. The object of present discussion is to throw light on the role of the great paranormal electrical field involved in all activities of body. A broad estimation would tell that the power needed for activities of body and mind is sufficient to operate a sizable factory. The bioelectric current in an infant itself is sufficient to run a railway engine. On an average, less than one third of this power is required for physical activities of the body and mind. You are a manifestation of your mind. There is a saying, one becomes what one earnestly desire to be. The secret of this phenomenon lies in the working of the mind. Whatever the mind desires is translated into conceptual blueprints. Persistence in desire infuses a paranormal magnetism in this imagery, and mind develops occult powers like distant vision, telekinesis, telepathy, etc. for collecting necessary resources from the material world. In order to achieve an objective, substantial effort is required for acquisition, transportation, and arrangement of things in material world, commensurate with the intensity and persistence of desire. A bioelectric field develops around the person. It gradually spreads all around, creating a favorable ambience for fulfillment of the objective. At its center inside the body, the intellect of the aspirant suggests ways and means and provides appropriate courage and perseverance to face the obstacles and directs the body to act accordingly. Most of us do not have even a partial idea of enormous functions the mind secretly performs to facilitate attaining our objective, ranging from the routine to the extraordinary ones. Where there is a will, there is a way. When we speak of the success of a person, we attribute the achievements to his endeavors in the physical world. However, those having the knowledge of secret functions of mind know that the real executor was not the body but the mind of the individual. Had there not been a strong will and support of the mind, there would not have been any possibility of accomplishment. Many individuals cannot perform even ordinary chores effectively. They take hours in doing ordinary things which hardly require a few minutes of most others. Such disorganized persons find even small tasks tiresome and annoying. It shows that while working, they do not receive the full cooperation of the willpower of mind, and the body is dragged to perform reluctantly to its maximum capability with a little assistance from the mind. Body has enough responsibility to work for its own sustenance. When forced to do additional extraneous work, it naturally sends signals of tiredness and irritation. Hence, this fact should never be lost from sight that for smooth and adept execution and successful accomplishment of a task, maximum utilization of power of will is an absolute necessity, because the paranormal magnetism produced by strong will itself is the driving force that leads to the end product. The intensity of desire makes one act commensurately, and if the activity is intelligently utilized, there remains no doubt in overcoming of all obstacles whatsoever their magnitude may be. The famous statement of Napoleon, the word impossible is found only in the dictionary of fools, may appear as an overstatement of a belief. Nevertheless, it reveals a great truth that everything can be achieved with the power of a strong will. Thank you watching for this video. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe the channel. So in the next video also I will continue describing the wonderful bioelectric energy present in the living organisms. Thank you for watching this video. Namaskar.